In today's video, we're going to be sharing what it costs for us each month to live in Mexico. But just to preface everything, Mexico is a massive country and it really depends on where you live. So we live in the Riviera Maya, which is definitely one of the more expensive places to live in the country because there are a ton of expats and tourists here.
Something to keep in mind is that we live on a tight budget. Actually, we don't go out often because we're making these videos for you, which we love. But it's something to keep in mind that you will see in this video. It's based on our budget, our cost of living.
Exactly. So we use the public transportation system to get from our house to the grocery store, which is the cheapest option you can find in terms of public transportation. It's actually only 10 pesos per person for a ride on the loop. So it doesn't matter which stop you stop at, 10 pesos flat rate.
Very uncomfortable most of the time, but yeah.
But very convenient and very affordable. Gracias. Yeah.
We're just gonna get seeds from here, right?
Just seeds and quinoa. We're very fortunate to live in Playa del Carmen, which is like a huge expat city, which means we've got access to markets like this, where you can find specialized things such as like quinoa and chia seeds and things like that. So that's why we specifically come here to get those specialized items. It's actually pretty affordable here, but those kinds of specialized items in the grocery store, you're either not going to find them or they're a lot more expensive in the typical grocery stores because it's not really a part of Mexican culture. So that's why it's considered like specialized ingredients.
They also have products like coconut oil, and they have like Italian stuff.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, they have a lot of like things that you won't find in your normal supermarket.
Now that we're all stocked up on our specialized items, we're about to head to the grocery store. Which one are we going to?
We are going to Mega, which is one of the main supermarkets in Mexico. Actually, it's a Mexican supermarket.
Our refrigerator is completely empty, so this is going to be like a big grocery shop, which is also going to give you guys a good idea of what we would spend like kind of on a monthly basis with groceries. AC.
AC. We could get our produce in the specialized market, but to be honest, we feel like it's a little bit more expensive than the supermarket, and the produce in the supermarket, it's actually good.
I really like 8. 6.
What are you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna make guacamole. So Giovanni and I don't really consume dairy products that much, so we tend to go for almond milk. Almond milk can be kind of pricey in the grocery stores. This is 51 pesos for this, but if you stick around, we're going to share our top tip on how you can literally cut the price of this in half.
Good. You might have noticed that we didn't buy too many perishable items at Mega Supermarket, and it's because we actually use Sam's Club. Because in Sam's Club we can buy some of the non-perishable items that we use on a daily basis, and we buy them in bulk, end up to be like more affordable than what you will get in the supermarket. The almond milk that Simon was saying costs like 50 something pesos, but if you buy them in Sam's Club, so you can get it like for about 28, 29 pesos. And also we make the order online and they deliver to our house. We only have to pay the delivery fee that costs us even less than going back and forth with a taxi.
And since we're on the topic of food, something that Giovanni and I have every so often is street food when we don't feel like cooking our own food. So we are right now at our favorite tamal place, which is just right behind me over there. Ah, look at that.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Ooh, a lot of sauce.
Tamal.
Now, because we have all of our groceries, we're gonna take a taxi. Taxis are unaffordable here in the city, but if you know how to use it as a local, if they kind of notice that you're a tourist, they might overcharge you. So you need to keep that in mind.
Yes. Muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias.
For the purposes of this video and due to inflation, we are going to show the prices average from the first 8 months of 2022.
starting with groceries. As you guys saw, we buy our groceries from a few different places. We've also included the cost of our drinking water because in Mexico you can't drink water from the taps. And overall, on average, we spend about 4,500 Mexican pesos on groceries.
In terms of transportation, we actually do not own a car, and the only option that we have is either taxis or combis, which are pretty much the public transportation in Mexico. And we don't go out often, as we mentioned it before, and our average price in this is around 500 Mexican pesos, which is pretty low for public transportation.
Exactly. Plus, we work from home, so just keep that in mind.
Show us your house, real tour.
Okay, so basically we're going to give you what we pay for our house a little bit later, but let's just keep in mind that Giovanni actually bought this house a while ago, so we're not paying regular rental prices, we're paying house owner prices. Anyway, so this is our little house. Welcome. So right over here you have got the lounge / office / exercise area. Over here you've got another work area as well as the kitchen. Back there we've got a little patio which is under construction right now, so we can't show you, it's really bad. In here is our bedroom. Very basic and whatever, but it's fine, our little bedroom. Our bathroom, again, very basic, bare minimum, fine. So this is our little walk-in closet. We keep it as tidy as we can, but we mostly live out of our suitcases, which is not very glamorous. Which is not very glamorous, but yeah. But that's pretty much our house. Basic, but good.
And over here we have the kids playground area, aka Ted Garden. We live in a gated community, and some of the benefits that we have here is that we have access to pool, 24-hour security, and also gardening services, but we will get into details a little bit later.
Stinky clothes. Mostly your stinky clothes. Giovanni just dropped our laundry off over here. If you are thinking of renting here, washers and dryers don't come standard in apartments. But the thing is that there are lavanderias literally all over the place. Every neighborhood will have a lavanderia. You come, you drop your laundry off. The price of getting your laundry done is very, very reasonable. But keep in mind, this is not like a dry cleaning service. You can't like bring your delicates and things like that. But just for general everyday washing, this would be your option.
Got our clean clothes.
We've got clean clothes, yes. So it comes like this nice little folded pile. It's actually very convenient.
Yeah, but I need to refold it because it has to go to my standards.
Yeah. Giovanni needs everything exactly aligned. So look how he likes to have everything exactly in line, neat. Very perfect. Oh, that one. Yeah, that one.
I will wait.
Gracias. When it comes to dining out, because we live in Playa del Carmen where there are a lot of expats and a lot of tourists, we've really got everything from low budget all the way up to high budget. We showed you street food this morning. We're currently at a mid-scale restaurant, but you also get like the fine dining, pricey restaurants here.
Yeah, we're actually now in a sushi restaurant which is very close to our neighborhood, and it's considered like a mid-class restaurant. We don't dine out very often, but when we want to spoil ourselves, we technically come to this place.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Wow, look at that.
Crunchy
Delicious.
and hot.
We are at the dentist now. We've never been to this dentist before, but we just thought, well, you know, might as well give them a try. So we made an appointment at 4 o'clock because
Yeah,
they have
actually-
like a midday break.
Yeah, but actually we didn't make an appointment. They just said come at 4 o'clock.
The dentist has said that we can record, so that's exciting. Ooh. It was actually my first time seeing a dentist here in Mexico, and I was really impressed. The place was very clean. They had good equipment. I don't know if she was actually a dentist because she didn't do a dental procedure. She might have been a dentist assistant, but she had a ton of knowledge to share with us, which was really cool.
Was basically a cleaning, and they just charged us 700 pesos.
Yeah, that's not bad.
In regards of rent, I acquired this property a few years ago, and we actually live in a local area. We are paying around 4,700 pesos. That doesn't mean that you will be finding something around those prices. You might start finding places in the local areas for 6,000 pesos. And if you were to move to places like the beach or central area, prices go double, triple, even
way more.
Even way more if you go to like the gated communities like Playa Car, where prices can go way higher that we don't even know how much you would pay for.
So on to our next topic, which would be services. This obviously differs pretty significantly every month. Things that we consider to be services would be like the plumber, which we've had recently, maintenance to our air conditioning, laundry, phone usage, all of that kind of thing. We are currently spending around 1,800 pesos per month, which might seem a little bit high, but keeping in mind, because we are homeowners, we are responsible for all of the things that go wrong. So I mean, we recently had to like kind of redo our plumbing, which is averaged out over the last 8 months to kind of like a high price. So typically it would be a bit lower if you're not responsible for like those homeowner things. So next up is dining out. Like we've mentioned, we don't really go out that often. If we are to dine out, it would be maximum once or twice a week. So the overall cost of what we spend on dining out every month is about 1,600 Mexican pesos.
Next up is health and wellness, which will include going to the doctor, which we don't go often. And also we'll be going to the gym, but we don't go to a gym, but we pay for a yearly subscription. It's a platform where we do our exercises. As well, we have acquired some equipment. Sometimes we go to the pharmacy and we get some supplements, vitamins and minerals. So our average price in this will be around 800 pesos a month. So it's just for health and wellness.
Should we unleash the beast and go for it? Okay, so obviously a part of our living expenses include Ted, our dog, but we know that not everyone watching this has a dog. So we actually made an entire video on everything that involves having a dog in Mexico, and you can watch it here or you can find it in our bio, but we will still share the total cost of living with a pet.
Hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this?
So when it comes to Wi-Fi and electricity, you might want to watch our pros and cons video where we talk in depth about the Wi-Fi, but we of course work from home, so that's very important. We're going to be sharing what we are charged every month. And then electricity, because Giovanni and I work online, the final amount that we're sharing for electricity is probably on the high side of things, because we are literally at home all day, every day, sometimes with the AC on, always with the fan on. In terms of entertainment, we typically go to the movies. We love to go to the movies, but every now and again we treat ourselves and we do things like this. Like today we're at Shalha Water Park, and there's a ton of these kinds of activities in this region because it is a very popular tourist area. So I mean, they are kind of on the pricey side, but occasionally we'll treat ourselves and do something like this.
Otherwise, if it's a rainy day, as well as the movies, we go to the arcades and America's Mall.
Next up is utilities, but just keeping in mind that Giovanni and I literally live and work from home. We're in that house 24/7 with each other. So our utilities are a little bit on the high side, so we're paying about 2,000 pesos per month. This would include water, electricity, Wi-Fi, and also the maintenance that we pay for our gated complex. So that includes them maintaining the pool and them cutting our grass, which is really great.
And the security.
And the security.
Next up will be our pet expenses. Might not apply for everyone, but we pay around 300 pesos per month. However, as we mentioned before, we have made a full video where we break down the prices of how we live with a dog here in Mexico.
Exactly. Okay, so next up is entertainment. As we've mentioned, we really don't have much of a social life at all. We literally are at home working on our videos all day, every day. But in terms of entertainment, we pay about 2,000 pesos per month. It's not much. It really could be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gotten to the part that I'm sure you guys have all been waiting for. The total of what we spend on average every month is around 18,000 pesos, which equates to about $900. So yes, it is absolutely possible to live as a couple for under $1,000 a month in Mexico, considering that this really is one of the most expensive parts of Mexico. If you're looking to live even cheaper, we would recommend going for places like Puebla or Chiapas, these smaller, more central states within Mexico. Also, another thing to keep in mind is, like we've shown you, it is completely possible to live on a budget here in Mexico. However, you can definitely live way more bougie than what we live. You could definitely live like you're living in the States and pay like you're living in the States. It just depends on the lifestyle you're after.
In the country we were used to live before, we were paying about $1,200 just in rent. We are actually curious to know about how much you are paying in the country you live in. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed to our channel, and that being said, we will see you in the next episode. Hasta luego! Join us in the next episode where we take you to one of the best water parks in Mexico. Got it, my love.
Listo.
Mira la cámara.